share the screen. All right, let's go back, and here is okay. This is the app that I demo earlier during the previous lecture. So I'm gonna open it and keep working on. Yeah, record. So right now we already successfully upload images and render all the images to the route here. Route. I'm gonna open it. npm run dev. Right. Oh, it's Rust because there's a port running on. What? Oh, this one, the original one. I need to stop it somehow. Let me see. Where am I running it? I always have a same port running issue. Oh, the reason is because you have an app that's running that port in some terminal. For example, if you have two terminals here, right? You have two windows open, you have two instances open, you need to close one of them. So if you have too many instances of terminal, it's gonna slow your computer down. So you have to close them. For example, I close, right? And I'm gonna open it again. npm run dev. Work now. Okay, now let's test the website here. So this is the app that we were running on, and let's say I'm gonna upload my screenshot. This kit, upload it, right? This is a kit I upload. Let's say I want to prevent duplication first, right? Prevent duplication. I'm gonna upload again one more time. Hold on, give me like 1 minute to fix this. I need to fix the link here first. Let's go home. Right, home, and then this one is going to be browse on images. This one is going to be browse. All right, and yeah, all right. Let's refresh the page. All right, so you see home and on images. Right now, I want to upload another image. This kit here. So I'm gonna have a applications. Let's go home. Select the key. Upload. Right. So it's a duplicate, right? So we don't want that. We can do it. I think we should do it inside the upload files, which is our middleware, right? You can do something like this. So when we talk about duplication, there's a lot of stuff we have to talk about. So what do you mean by duplicate? Right. A file that have the same size or the same names can be a duplicate, right? You cannot see the content of the file at all, because if you want to see it, you have to do something. You can implement some machine learning, so it can analyze the pictures and find out like, is that picture the same with the other one? So it's very hard to see it is the same or not. We can use our eyes, but the computer can only do that with some like machine learning stuff. So it's gonna scan all the pixel and stuff. So let's go with a simple one first. We compare the name only, for example, or if you want, you can also compare the size. But let's go with the size. Okay, all right. You can also compare the size. Do you want to compare the size as well, or just the name? So depend on you. On you guys. So give me some answer. Like if you want to compare just a name, or you want to compare also the size of the image. Oh, can you? edit name, so you can assign it by same. Yeah, there's something, there's some problem here. If you want to compare the size, all right, let's go. If you want to compare the size, only after you return, you receive something after the middleware, you can access the size, but you cannot check it before you save the file. So if you want to see the size, okay, let's do it. So okay, we're gonna save the name. So let me think a bit. All right. Okay. So let's go with this, and you can see, you can check the size here as well. All right. So how do we compare the name? Any idea? How do we compare the name? How do you find the duplication in the name? It's kind of like similar on how we do it here. Shit. Here. So we need data, and then we will use some method in order to find the duplicate. Use sum. Sum is good. Is it just sum? Oh yeah, but some actually, you can. There are a couple of methods you can use. Some people use some, but I prefer using file index, right? Because file index return the first index right away when you find the first duplicate, right? So it return right away, and we stop the loop. So I think it's okay. Let's say I'm gonna use file index. So const data equal to low data, right? Next, it's like we have the file already, so we can check. We can check const. Let's say this one is called file equal to data dot file index. Okay, and we have element. We will, so this file index will return -1 or the index of the file element. So we can do l dot what's the name, original name, and what was it, original name, I forgot. Equal, yeah, my brain stopped working. Request, let's say I want to restructure his const file, right, equal to request. So I'm not gonna use request the file anymore. It's short file dot original name. Okay, now if file equals -1 means we haven't found anything, or if it's it's not equal -1 means we found a duplicate, so we can return right away. Return res.render, we can return something like this, right? So now let's make this one a little bit better. We don't want to render the only image. Actually, we want to render the index here. So basically, I want to enhance my UX experience, my user experience, because when we cannot upload something, we should redirect them to the page that have the upload form. Okay, and inside my index here, I have an upload form here. Okay, so I go back to index, and I will say the error. If, for example, if error, I will show the error. Right. Do I stop it? All right. So if there's error, I will show error. If there's no error, I'll just skip that part, right? And so here we can prevent the file. We stop the whole function here. We stop everything right here. So if it's not found, what happened? If it's found, and we also here we cannot check the size. Yes, we can also have another step called check size of the files, right? So right now we cannot check it yet. Can we? Actually we can. Let's see. Actually we can. Yes. So if file n, so we can have n here, and element dot size equal to file size. Yes. And how do I know something like this? We can look at the image.json here. We have something magical called size, right? And we also have something called name, original name. Cool. I think, can you follow here? Can you catch up here? I use some, okay. We are comparing the original name also at the size because whoever is Nguyen want to compare the size as well. So we can check both on both fields, right? All right, next step, we can, so we already find it. And there's a one drawback here. What if, right, if the name is the same, but the size different, how do we store the information? How do we store the information? First thing first, we can change the name before we save it, right? We can change file.original name or where am I? File dot file name, file name. We can change these two size to two fields before we save it to the database. That's one solution. Or we can use something called ID. We can add the ID here. For each one, we can add the ID, right? So which way do you refer? Use ID or change the name? Changing the name is harder. So I think using the ID is better. Right, so now we use ID. And we have to change this one a little bit. So we keep everything, we change the ID. We don't have to change the ID. We just here before we push to the file to the array here, to our database here, we need the ID. So I'm gonna do something. So we don't have file. We also only have request file. We only have file dot ID, for example, equal what? We already did this in our to do app. Yes, that's ID plus one. So it's gonna be data and data dot length, this one, right? Dot ID plus one. Cool. And now we save the ID, right? And then we save the data. Okay. All right, now we want to try this, but I have to delete everything here first. Let's delete everything. And also clear our array here as well. All right, let's try. If you click here, there's no image. And if you click this kit here, upload it. Okay, there's no ID undefined because right at the part we don't have any data in order to do it. So field ID equal to this or and data dot length equals 0. If data length equals 0, then we do 1, else we plus 1, right? Cool. Save it, go back. I think there's already something wrong here. All right, delete it, try again. Image, save, everything is set, it's okay. Right, try again. Upload this kit, upload it. Okay, here we go. And what if I upload again, another one? You need to upload a file because I copy and paste the exact same line. Right, file duplicate and actually, okay, try again. This kit upload file duplication, right? So we successfully block the duplicate. We also compare the size. So what if, okay, what if, wait, so what if the user changed the name of the file? What happened? So what if the user, for example, I am changing, oh no, I am changing the name here to 1, for example. Yeah, it will upload. Change it to 1 is the upload, even though the file is same. So we can have change this one to R. All right, R. And then I expect to not seeing the same files again. No, we change this one to number 2, for example. Change it to number 2, upload it. Okay, it's still kind of like it's file out. Okay, this kind of like duplications. And also we can have a lot more conditions here if you want. So I will leave it to you. Same side up. Yeah, so that's why we can check same size, same extension, same original name. Or you have to be a little bit loose. You just let it go. Yeah, it's very rare. What? Your session has time out and will be closed? What the hell? Oh, it's time view. Team viewer. Okay, sorry. I thought it's Zoom. All right, move on. We successfully deal with the applications. Okay. What's the next part? We want to resize. So before we save to the database here, we can resize. And how do we do that? I'm gonna open the gym package. Oh my god, it's freezing. And I'll Google the resize feature here. You can use the resize method. Let's do it like this. I'm gonna install it first. Start this one. npm install gym. And then we will import gym and then do it like this. Let's roll up to see how to use. So you can copy and use the this way, but this slide headache, I don't want to use .den a lot. You can use another way. Let's see. Whatever. So how do they use it? Let me see. So you have to use read gym here. Oh, you can actually use something like it, create a new image. Like you don't read the file, but you can create a new one. And you put in the argument is the actually the how do I say the path to your file, right? So let's try that way and see what happened here. See, I'm gonna have my stuff here. Okay, all right. First thing first, we have to import it. const gym, oh my god, equal to require gym. Gym. All right, so now we can use gym right here. Let's say this one, let image is my current image. Oh, you can just say file. Okay, my current image, and then I do equal to new gyms. This is another syntax. Actually, you create another instance of gym. Gym is a class, and you create another instance of gym. Basically, in that instance, you can use read if you want, but you can use new here. So let's go with the old syntax. The syntax in the documentation, so I won't confuse you. So await, we can do await read gym, and then we have a path called file.path, maybe, yeah. Inside the file we have a properties called path, as you can see here. You should have it after we save the file. We should have a path property here. Okay, file.path. Then so now we have our image here is a gem object, and then we can do image dot resize, and then resize. If you go back to the documentation and you find resize method resize here, this is one way to use the resize method, and there should be another one. I did it before, right here. So in here you can it takes like three arguments. The first argument is gonna be the height. The second element is gonna be your width, and the third one is gonna be options here. So you can choose the method, the algorithm to resize your image as well. So I'm gonna copy this, for example, this. Copy and paste. So I say I want to which one come first? The height come first. I want my memes or my original image to have the exact same height, but the width they can change. They can be dynamic, because not every picture has the same square layout. Some of them is like a rectangle, right? So I only want the height to be 300, and the width can be anything. So we can use gym.auto here. Yeah, and scale the width accordingly. So we use gym.auto, and also I want to use some resizing algorithm. Let's say just choose. So this one they gave an example here, but let's copy this and use it here. All right. After all, we need to save the file. So I'm gonna go to image write, I think. Okay, and we want to write to the exact same path. Oops. Right. Cool. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? What's it? The auto and nearest neighbor again? I don't know. Auto here is like auto here I can explain, but the nearest neighbor is just algorithm. I don't know which algorithm they use and how they do it, but just like if you already did some like Photoshop before, you can see like if you want to change the size, there are a couple of different algorithms you can choose to do that. And the gym.auto here is basically like, for example, it's the image here. Let's say the image here. Oh my god. For example, how do I say the image here? Let's go back to our code and run it. Run there. Okay, the image here. This it's not like a square, right? It could be a rectangle. For example, the width is different from the height. So if we resize everything, we should resize the height only based on the height, and the width has to be like dynamic, depend on how high the image is. So we put auto. Auto means like scale. Yeah, keep the ratio. Yeah. So we don't have to be fixed on like a square. Yep. And this one is just a algorithm. So like the algorithm to resize the image. I don't know which one is the best. So just pick one. In your code in general, you use what's different? Oh yes, yes. Is there image dot write or we have to use write asyncs? So right here. All right, there's two way. If you want to use callback, you use write, and if you want to use promise, you can use async, write async. So if you use write async, well, you write async actually, right? File.path. Then you have to use await here. Await here means like this function, this method gonna return a promise, and you use await to ask your application to wait until that promise is resolved or there's an error in that promise. Means wait means kind of like, okay, hang on a little bit, wait until this line of code executes or return a value. Not a promise. A promise is like something will arrive, right? It's not a value, but it's kind of like something will arrive. I don't know how long. It could be 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, but it's just a promise. And a promise has two things: successful promise or something rejected. Rejected promise means like an error, or successful, you have the value in the successful promise. For example, it's very similar to how you call an API in your React app, right? You call an API, and that API is gonna return a promise. It doesn't return a value right away. It return a promise, and in your code you have to use async and await, like to say, okay, wait until we actually receive some response from the API, and then we can use try and catch if I, so right here I don't use try and catch. That means I assume that I will receive a successful response, right? If for some reason something fail, I have my application will freeze. How come you don't get see the error away only by the animation function? I just put it there. I haven't even saved the code yet. I haven't even saved it, and I didn't even run anything. So yeah, thanks for reminding. So you have to use async here, right? And then await, and then using await, we have to use try and catch to capture everything. For example, I will try here, and then put everything in here, right? And I'm gonna catch the error, and I'm gonna return if there's something wrong with that. We will return the index, and the error is the e message, right? E here is a error object. It's an error object. It's a something built in JavaScript, and the error object will have a property called message. Message is like it's kind of something like this, and this error object has many different things. It have a stacks of the errors, so you can trace the stack where the error come from. So basically, just we right now we focus only on the message inside the error object. Right. What's the next step? I forgot. Return an error, or if everything successfully arrive here. For example, if here some is done, everything is done, we can use it here. We can do image So it's now become image already. It's not file anymore. So it's going to be image equal to id dot blah blah blah. And then I want to push image here. Right. So that's the code. I don't know if it worked yet. So we have to test because I write everything without testing. So now we have to test. Delete everything. All right. Test. Let's go to home page. Upload this kit. Cannot call a class as a function. All right, so we actually receive this error here, but it doesn't tell us where the error come from actually. So go back to the code. Where am I? So what's the error? It say cannot call a class as a function. All right, go back to the code. Cannot call the class as a function. Oh shit! Here I forgot the read here. Maybe yeah. So it has to be read again. Try again. Delete the file here. Okay, there's one more step I forgot. If everything is there's something wrong inside our try block here, we have to like remove the file as well. Remove the file. So how do we remove the file? Fs, as you can see here, my code failed on this line, I guess. Yeah, like 99, 100% sure. But it failed right here because I forgot the method read here. All right. If it fails, the file is still saved here. How do we remove it? We can use fs dot unlink file scene and then file path. Right. I did it for JS already, so we can use this way to remove the file. And also we need to import it cause fs equal to require fs, right? Now we can try again. Let's delete this one. And there should be nothing in here yet. All right, let's go back and test. I'm gonna go home, select this kit, upload it. James should not try all my file. I copy and paste here. Oh my god. Copy and paste. Again. Okay, it failed right here on this slide, but the image was already removed, right? Thanks to this function. Remove file. Yeah, actually people import it as capital G, but I import it as a lowercase g. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Depend on which one, which name you use when you import, right? And the reason I fail here because I copy and paste this whole line. Remember? So when you copy and paste, be careful. Right, go back to the code. Go home. Select a picture. Yeah, 2, and then upload. Right, it failed somewhere. Oh my god, stop failing on me. The file is here. As you can see, it's here, right? But let's check our image registration. There's nothing here, so I recognize something wrong here. Let image equal to await, and then we resign. Check the file. Oh, it's resign. As you can see here, it's only like 30%. Oh, and here we got image is not defined. Oh my god. Image not defined. Where am I? Where am I? Oh, here. So because we define image inside our try block here, and when I call image.id here doesn't understand and the image, so we have to like less image and then image equal to that. And then I think we have to put everything. Oh, we don't have to. We can use let here. I'm sorry. We can put everything here inside the try block. Then we can do test it again. Um, right, go back, delete this one, message transition, everything is fine. And then let's refresh, choose a file, upload. So the image here, and let's see what happened again. So many errors. Huh? It's not found. Huh? So I'm gonna copy the image address. I'm gonna paste it here. Oh wait, something wrong here. Let's see our image. Holy shit! It's a buffer. Oh my god, it's a buffer. So everything is a buffer. Holy shit! Let's delete this one. I failed somewhere again. Oh my god, sorry. Delete this file. This file is gonna be a buffer. We need to do one more step, or we have to skip one step. Let me check the doc here. The doc here. We can avoid gene size. Save. Right. So our gym here will modify the file directly. It's gonna be so we can put a file here. I'm so sorry. This one is gonna be file. We don't have to use image because it's a buffer right now. Okay. So again, go back to the code. Sorry, I use a tab too much. That's a habit. Right. Test. Choose a file. Number 2. Upload it. There we go. The kit. And go back home. Change the name here. To 1. What the hell? To a picture. For example, this one. This one is very big. And upload it. Now something wrong. Load the image. Okay, it's here actually. So yes, the size is resized. Actually, you can see here it's 300 and then 200. Okay. Originally, it's not that small. If you want to take a look, it's gonna be where's my folder? Okay, here. And if you take a look at the picture, it's very big, right? It's this big, right? So recap. Where am I? Where do I start? All right. First, I will add the error part here to show the error on the index page. Because if there's any error, I will redirect the user back to the index page with the message here, right? Save it. And then inside our upload.js, I didn't like add anything. Okay, I didn't add anything, but in my index file, index route here, the upload route here, I have some additional logic. For example, for here, I select, I check if the file already exists in our database, or yeah, in our database, we will like send a message say, okay, file duplication, so we will not let you upload the file, or we will not save your file. Right, so that's done. And remember the return here. You should use return, always return here, because we want to stop the execution of the whole function right here. For example, something here, you have to stop it. Oops, can you explain file one? Yeah, of course. All right, here file index is gonna like return if the condition here match any of them, the first one or the second one. If either of them match, the data.file index will return the index of the matching element, right? If there is no match, it will return -1. That's how the method works. Okay, yeah, that's how the method works. doesn't return true. The first time is fine. Is it? No, it will return. It doesn't return true. It's the return the first index, I think. And actually, it doesn't matter because we want to check minus one only. So let's go and array dot find index. Double shoot. No, not here. Oh no, I hide this website. This one. So what does it return? Return array element index if any of the elements in the array passes test. Otherwise, they return -1. Right? Cool. So I'm gonna close this. Close this. What's wrong here? Close this. Go home. Okay, back to the code. So if it's -1, where am I? If it's -1, it means we have found a duplicate and we will stop saving the file to our database, right? And also right here, right here. Oh wait, right here is still save the file to our storage, but it doesn't matter, right? Okay, but does it matter if we have the duplicate and size function inside index of dot? Oh yeah, Jewish. If we have this piece of logic inside the upload.js inside our middleware, right? We cannot check the size yet because the size only available after we actually save it to our storage here, our hard drive. Yeah, I understand find that what's it. You said it's better than some because they stop the loop. Really? I don't know. Some is like return true if some of them match. And oh yeah, actually yes. Some return true if some element match. So we can also use some, but I rarely use some, so I don't remember. Yes. Because usually I want to return the index as well. Okay, some also work. Yeah. And what next? Okay, so here comes the most confusing part. We use async await instead of the callback. The callback here. If you want to use callback, you have to do something like here. This one also return a promise. Means like it will not return the whole thing here. Will not return the value. Instead, it return a promise, and you have to do something in order to execute a promise. Promise doesn't mean value. Okay, that's one note, big note. And you will have to run into like promise a lot in the future. If you go into MongoDB will return promise. It will not return value. Okay. Right. In order to cast the promise, we can have den here, another den here. For example, you den something here, and then you have to den, and then save the file to the database. So if you have a multiple step, you have to do .den a lot, and it is called callback hell. Have something like this. So callback hell, like you have a callback function inside callback function, callback inside callback function. But if you use then the new one, you don't have to nest them inside each other, but you can. But there's gonna be a lot of .den straight. For example, straight. Go straight like this. .den link .den something like that. And if you use away and async, it's much like easier to spot the error and stuff. Let's go here. Right. So use await. So basically, there's a couple of things. For example, here You have to read the documentation. This method is gonna return what? Return a promise or return a value. If it return a value, a promise, you have to use await or dot then. If return a value, you don't have to use await, right? And also this method, write async, is written in a doc, but it's gonna return a promise. So that's why I use await, and I think that's the fastest one. And then after everything, after you execute this line, you will move on to the next slide. Okay, I'm gonna increase my ID. Create the ID by increasing the last ID in the element in the array. And so I push that file to the array. Okay, and then I set it. Nothing new. And then after all, I return. You can have return here as well if you want. If you don't have, if you have more code right down here, but it's meaningless because it's already the last line of your function, so you don't even need to return. You can have return as a like a habit to make it your code less buggy. You can have return as a habit. It's okay. So here you can also have return as habit here. It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna delete that. Make it better. And then if there's something wrong in this block here, right? Anything wrong, doesn't matter which one, but anything, it could be some error here, here, or here. So we will catch the error, and the error is an object. And then if there's an error, I'm gonna like remove the file first. I'm gonna remove it first because I don't want to have a bunch of faulty files in my storage. And then after all, I return the error message to my index file here saying something wrong. So what if I send the same file again, file duplication, and it's not saved here? What if I don't have fs unlink here? What happened? I think it's gonna save too. It depends on the mechanic here. So basically that's where why it's here. Okay, any questions? Can we use in a way to recite, but in a way upload? No, no, because inside our middleware here, right? The file is uploaded. Yes, it's arrived our server, but it has yet saved to the storage. It has yes saved to the storage. So we have no way to access the file, and all the information here are just information of the file. The object here is just information of the file. It's not the file itself. Only after everything is done here, motor will give us something called request file. Only by then we have the actual file, and that's why we can only see the size after we got the request file. Okay. Right. Actually, that requires a lot of trial and error. You cannot understand everything where just the first time you read the doc, you have to try what the hell is returned here, what the hell returned here, why the hell I don't see the properties file size here. Why I cannot see the file dot size? But inside the index here, inside the post route here, you can see file dot size, and then you have to like you figure out why by the flow of the app. So right here, this file is not saved yet, and why did I come with that conclusions? Because you can define the file name that you save to your storage here. So that means you haven't saved yet. That means you haven't saved yet. until after you call the function. After you call the function, the file is saved with a new name, right? And that is only when you can have access to the file.size. So if you want to compare size, you have to do it here. You cannot do it inside upload. Or you can have one more middleware. I will show you here. You can have one more middleware, new middleware, just call it like this. And then inside the new middleware, you will have access to the request object. And then inside the request object, you will have the file. And inside the file, you will have the size, right? So that's you chaining to middlewares. Is that clear? Okay. So you can put all of these things inside the new middleware to check. Any questions? Question. Do you want me to put everything inside another middleware? Let's do it. So what if I have a function here, this function called new middleware? No, it's called check up, right? It's a function. Inside check up, we're gonna have request, response, and next. So we can also check all of these. I'm gonna copy all of these, cut it, put it here. Oh, actually we can cut everything and put it here. Then I'm gonna call file equal to request. Okay, I only keep the file. I move everything else inside here. And then I'm gonna call checked here. And checked will also have next. So everything passed, we have to call next here. Else our application will fail. Will stop. Okay, and everything is fine. I think. Oh shit. Then we don't have data. All right. But this will cause a problem. We're running this function 2 times. It's gonna it's not that good. Let's say I'm gonna pass. How about I'm passing to request cause data and load data, and then I'm gonna do cons request of data equal to data here, right? And then request of data equal to data, and then here I don't have to do this step again. Instead, I'm gonna use data as well. Let data equal to request of data. I reassign, that's it. I'm not calling the whole function here. I'm not calling the whole function. This function is gonna take some time to execute, and I don't want to repeat those steps. Let's see if it works. Let's go and find a new file. Let's say this one. Upload. Still work. Still resize. Everything is the same. Go back and then upload again. This one again. Upload. You will see the same behavior, right? So this one you can make another middleware. Just to do that. How about we have another middleware here? Just you do it. I'm not gonna do it, but you can make also another middleware. Right? Cool. Any questions? If you have question, please ask. If there's no question, I'm gonna stop the video and then gonna upload. Before this, I talked to Ray middleware. We had to Ray new file. No, middleware just function. Just here because I just want to show you how to use the middleware. You can cut the whole function here, Ray new file, put it there. But I'm gonna put it here for just for demo. right? I think that I guess there's no more questions. Right, let's call it a day. Bye bye.